everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Miss Grant.
I'm Carla. Stephanie. Miss Sanchez.
And we're very excited to be back with a video about study tips. So make sure to watch the whole thing and good luck with finals. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind when you are preparing to study is to make sure that you're actually scheduling time during your day, during your week to study. And what I mean by this, right, is that our brain, research actually shows this, that our brain is only able to keep information in a certain amount of chunks, right? So instead of planning to study the day before for 5 hours, you should try to schedule 30-minute increments where you're studying the material that you have to look over. It's also really important that you try to stay away from pulling all-nighters. And I know it's like this cool like college thing that we do, right? But the reality is that your brain actually cannot retain information that way. It's actually does the opposite. Your brain has been wired to learn during the day for the last 12 years, right? So make sure to take advantage of that. Don't fight your brain. Just study during the day, and again, you don't have to study for 5 hours or 2 hours or 3 hours. Research shows that if you study for 30 minutes on a specific subject, your brain is more likely to retain information that way. The other point about scheduling time to study is that you want to make sure to set a timer. So you give your brain a time to take a break and kind of, just process all the information that you just put in it. Otherwise, you're just going to be throwing a bunch of stuff into your brain and it's just going to be locked and it's going to be useless all that time that you're putting in. So good luck.
Another thing that you want to remember while studying is your location. The location is everything. So you want to make sure that you are going to a place that is accessible for you. Although going to a coffee shop, going to Starbucks seems really cool, it also makes you spend a lot of money, and there's also a lot of noise and just a lot of distractions in general. Some good places to study is a cafeteria, a library. You want to avoid places where you could roll over and fall asleep. So your bed, your living room, turn that TV off because it's not helping you in the long run. And studies also show that caffeine actually doesn't help you study. So don't binge a whole bunch of coffee at your coffee place and trying to study because you won't retain anything.
Remember to use your study guide. If your professor gives you one, you're very lucky because a lot of professors may not give it out, and the study guide tells you literally everything you need to know for the test. So the first thing you can do when you get your study guide is just answer all the questions, whether you know it or not. That way you can tell what you need to learn and what you already know. And if you don't have a study guide, you could always use your syllabus as a guide to look at what you need to know for the test, if it's cumulative or if it's open book and timed.
Methods that you should consider is one, set your study goals. So you should not try to have yourself learn everything that you learned throughout the semester in one day or one sitting. So you should definitely try to consider and learning different concepts that you need to know for finals. And then another one is test yourself, meaning that you should try to spend most of the time on the things that you don't know instead of the things that you already know. So kind of like trust your gut that you will know that by the day of the final. And then another thing is teaching someone that the things that you already know, and that way you will remember the concept. And then another one is trying to reinforce new techniques. Most of the people use flashcards to help them remember the concepts that they don't know. Other people use apps for different types of classes and concepts. Hey guys, we're back with other things that you should keep in mind. One of the biggest thing is to go to class, meaning that even though there's information that could be online for you, you should still attend class because you could probably miss a little thing. And make sure that you are active in class, meaning that you are participating, and then you're kind of like highlighting things that you have to review when you go back home. And then make sure that you ask any questions. It doesn't have to be in front of the class. If you're shy, you can go to your professor specifically, but you have to be aware that probably the question you have with other students have as well. So just be aware of the little things.
Also, to listen to music or not to listen to music. I know a lot of us are just like accustomed to putting in our headphones and just trying to study with music, but research actually shows that it's not the best method to your study habits. So if you study in a quiet room and you feel uncomfortable, or you feel like it's just not your groove, then try to find music that will help you study better. So maybe you actually need lyrics to remember your study material, or maybe you just need to listen to white noise or piano music or just some beats. Just find different methods that will help you study, because sometimes listening to someone it's just not going to help you study.
Another thing that you also need to keep in mind when studying is the food that you're eating. So pay close attention to what you eat before you study, while you're studying. If you eat a super like carb heavy meal right before studying, chances are you're gonna get really sleepy. So if you're in a quiet space, you're at the library, you're at home, you're just gonna roll over and knock out. So be very, very conscious of what you eat before studying and during your study session. You know, there's always like fruits, there's like light snacks, or even just water to keep you awake. So be really conscious of that. If you are having challenges with food, remember that there's different resources on your campus to help you get either snacks or food. If you have questions about that, you can always reach out to us and we can direct you to your place on campus. But yeah.
And then the last thing to remember is to put your phone away. It sounds like a no-brainer, but a lot of people would just forget or think it's not really a big deal and just leave the phone out either way. But leaving it out just gives you more chance to check it. So just keep it in another room or put it under your bed or something. But keep that phone away from you while you're studying.
Alright y'all, this is the end of our video. We wish you a lot of luck on your finals. Please take all of these habits into consideration. Try to find something that works best for you. And don't forget to
like, comment,
Subscribe.
And share.
To reset.
Hey guys, another
Time, ready, set, go.
May
And
the odds be ever.
I think it goes like
May the odds be ever in your favor. Okay, ready, set, and go.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
I found this on the website.